We're in a series of 7 sight reading secrets, and I'm going to give you 2 of them today. We're on numbers 5 and 6. One of the secrets to reading fluently and being able to sight read with ease is to be able to hear ahead. Now, we gave a simple, I gave a simple example here of this Haydn sonata that had a circle of fifths that was so easy to hear ahead, where you could anticipate what was coming next because it was a circle of fifths, and the harmonic, you could guess the harmony that's coming up. But there are also melodic patterns that cause us to be able to guess what's coming. But even if we can't guess, to be able to hear those intervals a little bit, or to look ahead and see the rhythm, and in your mind, your eyes are ahead, as we talked last week. Your eyes are ahead of where you're actually playing. So your inner ear needs also to be ahead. You know, when we play the piano, when we play any instrument, but piano, we have to, our thinking needs to go back and forth between what we're playing right now, what we just finished playing, and what we're going to play. We go back because we base what we're doing now and ahead on what we've just done, as whether the shaping worked and whether we need to make an adjustment. But we need to be thinking slightly ahead of what's coming, and as well as what we're doing now. It's a complicated process, and the brain does a lot of things for us without us having to analyze and get too technical and microscopic about it all. But the point is that we need to hear ahead what's coming, the rhythm and the harmony and the melody. Train our ears to hear ahead. This would be more with more advanced students. Now, the other thing is to play in rhythmic groupings or in pulse. This is something that not all of you may agree with me on, and that's okay, but I'll just put it out there for you. I find that when I have my students play with a rhythmic grouping that is typically a measure in their early learning process of sight reading, they learn it quicker. For example, I would send a student home with this Haydn sonata and say, I want this in pulse this week. I want an accent, an unnatural accent on 1, and then I want to lift for the rest of the measure. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right? And they come back playing it like that, or slower, maybe slower. But there needs to be decided lift after this accent. Now, that's not the way you perform it. No. After that has, what happens is it makes an impression, an inner impression on your ear, and you can take away the exaggerated accent, but the grouping you'll still feel it, and you'll play differently. But the accent, the temporary accent, somehow helps the eye and the brain process the notes, and you're able to read with more ease and faster. So I find that's a helpful tip. So hear ahead. Teach your students to hear ahead of what they're actually playing, and also to play in rhythmic groupings, because I think that helps with the sight reading. Now, next week we have our final tip, and I think you're going to find that helpful. It has to do with what you do with your eyes.